Hi guys, Inky Vaper here, and today we're going to be looking at the Troll V2 RDA by Wotofo. Now, I've had this for just under a week now. The reason that I'm doing the review so quickly is not because of not because of any other reason other than the fact that it is a fairly simple dripper. I've had it for a week. I've put just under a week. I've put a few builds in it. It is performing extremely well, and you know it's a velocity style dripper. There's not a great deal of difference to it. We'll have a look at it in the close-ups. I'll go through all the sort of bits and bobs with it for you, and then we'll come back up top and we'll have a little chat, and I'll give you my thoughts, pros and cons, and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll go down now, and I'll see you in a bit. Welcome guys, down low here with the Troll box. As you can see, it's sort of brightly coloured, purpley blue, pink and silver. Got the troll face on the front there, the troll. Not a great deal else. There's a scratch and check. Wotofo stainless steel, which is the version we've got here. Just slides open. Put that to one side. Got the RDA, which is comes with its proprietary 510 drip tip. It's one of these kind of heat dissipating ones. It's similar to the Serpent Mini, if you've seen that, and you've got a little 510 drip tip adapter in the top there. Now I'm just going to pop this on a mod, leave it to one side for the minute. This comes with quite a wide bore mouthpiece as well, which is Delrin, as you can see. Nice and rounded and smooth, good size. It's about 15mm across, I believe. So there's that. Inside the package, underneath this foamy rubber stuff, are various little packages. You've got they're all marked comp wire for some reason, but inside each one there's different stuff in. In this particular one, it had spares, so it's got a full set of spare grub screws, full set of O-rings in there as well, and this little triple-headed tool, I guess, multi-tool deal. The other one actually does have coils in it. They're like twisted Canthil coils, by the look of them. And last but not least, there's a pad of what looks to be Muji cotton, or maybe Kojendo, Japanese organic cotton of some kind. So you've got everything in there that you might want in order to get built in. So I'll just pop that in there and keep the chuff cap out, or chuff style I should say. Pop the box out of the way for the minute. Okay, so here we have the Troll. I'll stick it on my RX for the time being, just so that I don't pull the top off, because it is. I've just cleaned it, and the O-rings are quite tight. I'll take it off again now. Taking the top cap off. Okay, so here we've got the top cap with the. Let's get it in camera, shall we? With the proprietary 510 drip tip. That comes with a drip tip adapter, which I can just pop out by pushing through there. So that's the drip tip in the drip tip adapter, and that obviously just fits in the top of the top cap just there. I'm going to put the chuff style cap on there because I prefer it. Now this pushes, you can actually get this out as well. It's a bit of a snug fit at the moment because, like I say, I've just cleaned this and everything is all. Keep dropping everything. So this is the airflow control ring. It's still a bit wet from where I've cleaned it. and as you can see, you've got horizontal slots and diagonal slots, so you've got a choice of which way you do it. Now, for some reason, Wotofo are saying that the one way is for flavour, and the other way is for more clouds. They didn't say which is which, and as you can see, you just turn the top cap there and you can actually dial around which way you want your airflow, so you can adjust it right the way down to tiny if you want to, or get it wide open. Now, for me, I think that the airflow on this, it's down to personal preference. I actually prefer the horizontal slots. I find the diagonal slots a little bit more, so it makes the airflow a tiny bit more turbulent, but there's not a great deal in it. As you can see on the barrel there's a very deep engraving of the troll face, but because it's just an engraving rather than a laser etch, it doesn't actually show up that bad. I'm not a big fan of this design, but I like it more like this, where it's actually engraved in rather than being a big black splodge on the side of a stainless steel top cap. The inside of it's all machined very nicely. There's no burrs, there's no snags, there's no sharp edges. It's all decent 304 stainless steel on here, and if you can see on the inside of there is like a little slight sort of doming of the cap just coming up to where the chuff is, so that will help with condensing the vapour and giving you a little bit better flavour. Okay, so that's the top cap. I'll stick that to one side. Right, excuse these Clapton coils, they're not the greatest, but they're working alright, so I'm going to leave them in. There's your post holes. It's a velocity style deck, so you know, nothing too innovative where it comes to the deck, to the build posts really. They're just shy of 3mm wide post holes, so you can pretty much fit anything in there. In fact, these Claptons that I've got in here kind of get lost in the holes there. Now, if you can see, the juice well on this is really mega deep. If I put my tweezers in there and mark where it goes to, that's as deep to sort of where my fingernail is as deep as it is. Now, as far as I'm aware, it's 10 mil deep juice well, which is ridiculous. Well, I mean, it's ridiculously deep. It's not ridiculous, it's a great idea in my opinion, because this is a very cloudy dripper, and anything that allows you to sort of vape for longer without having to keep re-dripping is great in my opinion. And with the chuff style top cap on, you can literally just drip straight down the drip tip there, goes straight into the bed of there. You can have just shed loads of cotton. I'm going to whip this in a second just to show you how much cotton you can actually get into this thing. So you can get an absolute ton of cotton in there, and therefore a lot of juice. There's 3 O-rings here. These are very tight fitting. I'd suggest that you lube them up a little bit with some e-liquid before you put it on, because it is a very tight, snug fit, and yeah, it's a bit of a bugger to get off, to be honest, especially if you're trying to get it off without a mod. So what we'll do is we'll stick this back on the RX. Oh, let me just show you underneath before we do that. You can see that's a gold-plated reverse adjustable, so it's a reverse threaded adjustable 510 pin. It protrudes a good way out. There's not really any need to adjust it, I don't think, even for use on a hybrid. That's going to be fine. You've got your Troll V2, Wotofo, a rubbish bin, and the CE mark there. So all the O-rings on this are really good. They're nice and tight. There's no no sort of loose top caps or anything like that, which is great. So we've got some cotton ready. Basically all this is some cotton bacon. I've just got a couple of bits ready to go, and I'm just going to pop one bit in through here, and if I can get hold of the end of it without tweezers. No, I can't, so let's get some tweezers. Oh, come on, you cack-handed bugger. Let's try and give that a little bit more of a twist so that I can get it through and actually get hold of the bloody thing. Come on. And it always is the way you're trying to show somebody what you're doing and it ends up fucking up. Right, okay, so I've got a fair bit of cotton here. I'm using it's the variation that I use on the sort of Scottish roll system. Basically, I just get a thicker piece of cotton than I would normally use, and then I roll it across away from me on a flat surface or on my the leg of my trousers or whatever, but just roll it away, bring it back towards you, then roll it away, just so that you get a nice sort of firm fit. Now I'm actually just going to take off that little twizzly bit there, and just a tiny touch off there, and as you can see, that's an absolute shed load of cotton. We might need to take a bit off, but I don't think we will, to be honest. Right, let's twist this one up. This is going to be a bit more difficult because I'm doing it away from myself. And as you can see, that again is quite a tight fit through there. This is how I like to wick my RDAs, because I find that they perform better and they wick better, and you don't get any of that crackling and popping and spit back and shit. So as you can see, we have got an absolute metric ton of cotton going on here. Literally just poke it in and tuck it underneath into that deck, and again on the other side, and as you can see, that has fit all of that in there, and we've still got a nice little gap going on underneath the coil to allow the vapor to come, to allow the air to come in underneath and come up. And so we turn it round, pop this in, do it again, and again on this side. Literally as much cotton as you could even dream of wanting, to be honest. And now if you look at the top there, you've just got this big bed of lovely fluffy cotton sat in the middle of that, in the middle of those two velocity style posts there, and you can literally just drip your juice straight down and into there. Now what we're going to use today is a bit of Yorkshire Vaper's custard donut. I'm just going to drip a load on the top of here, a load on the top of the other coil, just to get it nice and saturated. Press the fire button just a touch, just to get the capillary action going. Heat of the coils draws the fluid into the centre of the coil and into the centre of the cotton. Drop a load down in the bottom there, just give it a bit round the sides. Want to make sure that these wicks are nice and saturated before we even get going. If you prepare your coils and you prepare your cotton properly, as I've said in previous videos, you really don't need to worry about dry hits, because if you just give it a little bit of preparation at this point in the game, yeah, it really does make a big difference in your ability to just keep vaping and not have to worry about re-dripping constantly. Right, so just going to line up the air holes on this, pop that down, and there is the Troll V2 on the RX 200, looking rather snappy. We're going to be vaping at, just to annoy Dean the vaping biker, I'm going to vape this at 81.6 81.7, because that'll really set his OCDs off there. Right, so what we'll do is we'll go back up top and I'll give you my pros and cons on the Troll V2 RDA. See you up top. Welcome back, guys. So the Troll V2 RDA by Wotofo. Now, I didn't have the original Troll. I had a go on one, but I was one of those people that was put off by the original, the logo. To be honest, not a big fan of the Troll face, but very impressed by the actual dripper itself. And then by the time I'd kind of got to have a go on one, there was lots of other stuff about, and I never bothered picking one up, to be perfectly honest with you. To be honest, I think I should have done, really. It's a, you know, the original was a very good dripper. Now this is also an extremely good dripper. We'll go through a few pros and cons. There's not actually that many cons, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not the most I think if we're going to go for a con, this is really a subjective con, and it's not really a con in the grand scheme of things. It's not a particularly original dripper in as much as it's got that Velocity style two-post deck that Cisco and Dino developed for the Velocity. And yeah, I mean, I think that they don't get enough credit for what they actually did for vaping with the invention of that deck. It's a testament to their ingenuity and to their innovativeness, if that's a word. Yeah, innovative. Yeah, they were the brains behind this kind of deck, and they should be given all the credit in the world for developing something that is just so easy to build on and just a pleasure to use. And it's not surprising that all the other manufacturers have gone along and basically nicked the idea, because it is a very, very easy way to build. If any of you've had, I mean, I'm pretty sure that most of you by now have had some kind of experience of the Velocity deck, the Velocity style deck, I should say, or the Velocity deck itself. If you're fortunate enough to have a proper Velocity. So yeah, I mean, it's not the most original RDA in the world. The airflow, the fact that you've got two different styles of airflow, the horizontal and the vertical, kind of diagonal things, bit of a gimmick, to be fair. Other than the fact that it does give you, it gives you, if nothing else, it gives you the adaptability to have it how you want it. Personally, I like it like this with the horizontal lines, because I think it just looks better that way. Vapes better that way. I find the sort of sloped, the diagonal airflow a little turbulent, a little bit more noisy than the horizontal. Let me just have a quick vape. Right, so I mean, other than that, really, there's not a great deal I can criticise this RDA for. It's a real solid performer. It's well made. The engraving on the side is deep and well done. The logo isn't necessarily to my taste, but because of the fact that it's no longer a laser etch, it's not actually that noticeable, so I find it a lot less offensive than the original one. Wasn't a big fan of the original sort of black laser etching on the side. I think it's a good looking little dripper, and I like it with the 510 drip tip on the top of it. It looks good as well. Personally, I prefer the wider bore drip tip or chuff style cap like this, because it's just easy. You can just literally open up your bottle, turn it upside down, and just drip, 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 drip. Load of juice in there, and you know it's just going straight into that great big bed of cotton that we just put in there in the up close. And to be honest, I mean, I'm vaping this at those Claptons are coming out at 0.28 of an ohm. I've got them running at 81.7 watts just to annoy Dean. It's performing really well. I mean, with anything like this, it's going to be build dependent. The amount of air that comes out of this thing, you're going to want to build relatively low and put a lot of watts through it, because otherwise you're not really going to get the sort of vapor or the flavour that you want from something like this. It is a very cloudy RDA. You can close the airflow down a fair bit, but really, whenever I have a dripper like this, I just run it balls to the wall, airflow wide open, and just give it some and blow some nice big clouds with it. So it's really just ideal for that. But yeah, so to sort of summarise, very well made. It's 304 stainless steel. It comes in black as well, I believe. I picked this up from, let me just have a quick scooch. I got this one from Audacious Vapes. I believe it was £22. Let me just have a little quick look. Yeah, it's $22.99 for the stainless steel and $23.99 for the black one. I always get the stainless steel. One of the main reasons is I like stainless steel. I like the look of stainless steel, but also when I'm reviewing stuff, stainless steel shows up better on the camera, so that's why I tend to go for the stainless stuff. But yeah, it's extremely well made. There's an absolute shed load of spares. You've got coils in there as well. There's cotton in there, so you've got everything to get you going right from the word go. The packaging is on point, and yet again, I think it's another extremely good product from Wotofo. Now, I don't think you can go far wrong. I like the fact that it's got side airflow. It's avoided the bottom airflow. I've kind of got a bit tired of these ones that are using the bottom airflow, just purely because of the amount of condensation and shit that builds up on the top of your mod, and it's just annoying and dripping into them. It's all well and good having a velocity deck, and then when you drip it, if you drip through the chuff, it all goes down through the bottom, through the sort of like chimney tubes, and comes out the bottom. And I can't be bothered with all that. This is just hassle-free. Massive, great big 1 centimetre deep juice well. You can just bung in an absolute shed load of juice. I mean, you just saw me just literally just pouring juice into this thing, and it just doesn't leak. You can, I mean, I've got so much cotton in the bottom of there. It just wicks really well. There's a shed load of room for your cotton, and it's just a really good little dripper. And for $22.99, I mean, you just can't go wrong. I would definitely recommend this over the Tsunami. I think it produces better clouds, or vapor, should I say. I think it's better made in the fact that it's a more thoughtful design, and I just absolutely love that build deck and that huge, great big deep juice well. So yeah, let me just grab a drink. So, if you're in the market for another authentic, affordable dripper, you won't go far wrong with the Troll V2. If you've got any questions about it, or you wanna make a comment, then please do. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'll be bringing you some more stuff as soon as I've tested a few things. I've got a couple more drippers, I've got some various bits and bobs to show you, and I've also got the K-Fun 5 coming up as well at some point, but those are going to take a little bit longer. As I said before, the reason I've brought this one forward and done it so quickly is because it is a very simple, very straightforward dripper, and it didn't really need a great load of road testing for me to realise that this is just a cracking dripper, and it's well worth every penny of the price that you're going to pay for it. They're available all over the place, but as I say, I got this one from Audacious, and yeah, you won't go far wrong with it if you decide to get one. So we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching again, and I'll see you on the next one. If you like the video, please click the old thumbs up for me, and again, if you haven't already subscribed, please do, and I'll see you on the next one.